We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Inflation, threats to national security, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Inflation came in hotter than expected in February as high prices persist. The Labor Department said Tuesday that the Consumer Price Index, a broad measure of the price of everyday goods, including gasoline, groceries, and rent, rose 0.3% in February from the previous month. Prices climbed 3.2% from the same time last year, faster than the 3.1% forecast by economists. The report dashed hopes that stronger than expected inflation in January was an outlier. Inflation was pushed higher primarily by the costs of food out of the home, shelter, and transportation costs. Robert Hur, in his prepared opening testimony to the House Judiciary Committee, says his report reflects his best effort to explain why he declined to recommend charging President Biden for his mishandling of classified records. Hur found that Biden willfully kept classified documents that he was not entitled to and was highly critical of Biden's storage of those documents. My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair, Hur wrote in a copy of the remarks obtained by the media. Most importantly, what I wrote is what I believe the evidence shows and what I expect jurors would perceive and believe. I did not sanitize my explanation, nor did I disparage the president unfairly. I explained to the Attorney General my decision and the reasons for it. That's what I was required to do. The transcript of President Biden's interviews with Robert Hur contradicts Biden's claims that the former special counsel had asked him about the date of Beau Biden's death. It shows that Biden himself was the one who brought up the timing of Beau's passing when speaking to Hur about his time living at a rental home in Virginia in 2017 after leaving his role as vice president. Biden was unable to remember the date of Beau's death. FBI Director Christopher Wray on Monday warned of a wide array of dangerous threats coming from the U.S. border, including drug trafficking, violent gangs, and smugglers with ties to ISIS. Wray was asked by Senator Marco Rubio of Florida at a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing about the threats at the border, including the Tren de Aragua gang from Venezuela. Wray said he couldn't speak to a specific gang, but said that there were dangerous individuals entering via the southern border. From an FBI perspective, we are seeing a wide array of very dangerous threats that emanate from the border, and that includes everything from drug trafficking. The FBI alone seized enough fentanyl in the last 2 years to kill 270 million people. That's just on the fentanyl side, he said. President Joe Biden submitted his budget request for fiscal 2025 on Monday. Biden's budget totals $7.3 trillion, up 4.7% compared to the current budget. The budget request seeks to raise the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, which would raise the cost of goods and services, further aggravating rising inflation. Furthermore, Biden is seeking an increase in the corporate minimum tax rate. Despite claims from the White House, the nonpartisan Office of Management and Budget states that Biden's budget request will increase the national debt by $15 trillion. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.